I have something awesome here for you that I truly believe will enhance your relationship with your significant other. You might be missing this concept right now, and if you are, I think it could really help to try it out. Welcome to Better Echoes, improving ourselves so we can uplift all. You're awesome. Let's dive in. Oftentimes in our relationships, we tend to default to loving our person the way we express love best. That only makes sense, right? We give our love in the way that comes most naturally to us. We bring our best selves to the table by playing to our strengths. What could be wrong with that? Well, I'm not saying the way that you give or love is wrong, but I think this approach might be a little less effective or as meaningful as we might assume sometimes. You know what they say about the word assume, right? It makes an aspect of your relationship less fantastic. Now, you may feel like you're giving it your highest possible level, but it might not be clicking as much with your person as you think it might be. Even if you're giving a ton, you might not be filling them up all the way. Not saying that we have to do that, but wouldn't it be nice if we could fill them up a little bit more? We show up with a big basket of love for them that's totally our style and completely unique to us, hoping that it lands on that person in a way that's really appreciated. And I'm sure that for the most part, it is really appreciated. But I think this approach still leaves open the possibility of some blind spots. So here's the big idea. It's my belief that our relationships will improve when we figure out how to give what's meaningful, rather than just giving what we naturally give. You can both still give how you naturally give, but if you both discussed what would be most meaningful for each of you, that could be the game changer that your relationship needs. So how do you do this? Well, I'll tell you that soon. However you and your partner love each other, I'm sure that it's beautiful and meaningful and expressive and appreciated. But if your natural approach is missing something or leaving something unaddressed, it would be really good to know that so you could make some adjustments and improve that aspect. Asking how you can love each other better is like a cheat code on how to bring more joy into each other's lives. Here's an example, and if this one doesn't work for you, then I'll have one that will right after this. Let's say that you do the vast majority of the chores around the house because that's how you naturally give. But you don't want to do the litter boxes because you dislike that particular chore. So they end up falling to your partner most often, and they get stuck with them all the time. Meanwhile, you don't know this, but your partner absolutely despises the litter box and dreads them with all of their being, and who could blame them when you just have a regular amount of dislike for them? Well, you say, this whole conundrum could be avoided if both partners just communicated better. To which I say, exactly. That's how you change this. Communicate better. I hope your person would express the fact that they hated the litter boxes to you, but not everybody does that. Maybe they're uncomfortable bringing it up, or they're just in a routine, or they feel obligated to do it because you do absolutely everything else around the house. Whatever the case may be, asking about it is probably a good idea. Now watch what happens here. You ask your partner how you can give what's meaningful, and you ask for their honesty. Your partner expresses that they despise doing the litter boxes, so you both talk it out a little bit, and the following compromise is eventually pitched. You take the litter boxes off their hands, and in return, they would be happy to help you with the chores that you've been doing so diligently. You have just been naturally giving the way that you give. But now, your partner is seeing that that takes up a lot of your time. They want to be more fair to you and take over some of that stuff so they can give you some of your time back. That way, you have some time now to go work on your book. Or now you as a couple can take a walk around the neighborhood together because your partner is now splitting the chores with you equally, and that makes you more available for each other. Boom, a deal is made. Sweet hot compromise. Both parties gain something in the trade-off here, and they each get happier, and the balance feels more fair. And it's all because you communicated about giving what's meaningful. Communication can lead to both happiness and efficiency. Now I know the word efficiency isn't exactly a romantic one, but why can't it be? Doesn't that make sense here? Ooh, you're looking mighty efficient today. Don't get stuck overworking or overgiving or being a martyr just because that's how you love. Find some balance and see what good can come from it. Now, I'm not saying that this kind of thing happens in every relationship, but I just want to provide an idea or some perspective maybe, and just kind of see if you think this could help out in your relationship. Also, don't get me wrong here. None of this is to say that the way that you naturally love them doesn't work for them. Your partner may love you especially because of the way that you naturally love them. And that is such a beautiful thing. And I'm sure plenty of how you love them really does feel incredible and wonderful and perfect for them. There's no need for a complete overhaul here. I am definitely not saying change absolutely everything or change anything major. Just change little things, make little adjustments so you can both more accurately give what the other person really values. I would still argue that even if your relationship feels immune to this kind of issue, it's still not a bad idea to just check in with your person and see if this could help. We're always growing in relationships, and this idea could help foster that growth. You might not even end up needing this advice at all, but it couldn't hurt to try it out. Who knows? Maybe it could shed some light on something for you both and help you both realign. Here's a simple analogy to drive the point home. If my wife bought me every single country music album in existence, that would cost a lot of money that she sacrificed her time and energy for. But that gift just wouldn't be super meaningful to me because I don't listen to country music. Sorry, y'all. She could spend a whole lot less on just one album from my favorite band, and that would be way more meaningful to me than the entire country repertoire that she just wasted her time and money on. You can copy the formula for this analogy to any scenario, especially non-physical things like the phrasing of your words or the way that you disagree with each other or your willingness to help them out or participating in something that they enjoy, and so on. Here are some rapid-fire examples of this. One person continually puts in overtime at work so the couple can have a better financial cushion, but the other person doesn't care about the money. They just want to see their partner at home more often. Maybe there's a balance to be found there. One person brings home dinner 3 times a week so the other person doesn't have to cook, but the other person would appreciate making dinner together with them instead. One person surprises the other with gifts all the time, but the other person might prefer some help around the house instead. One person does all the chores to show their love, but never verbally expresses it, but the other person would appreciate the verbal expression more than the chores. One person tells their partner, "You look hot as hell," when maybe they would enjoy hearing, "You look stunningly beautiful," instead. Or vice versa. It could be the other way around. Just depends on what you like. And here's the big one. One person spends all their time at home with the kids while the other person works. Now, instead of going on a family outing the next day they have off together, which means that the partner that stays home with the kids never gets a break from the kids, that partner gets to take a spa trip or a solo hike for the afternoon. Or they get to go out and hang out with their friends, which they haven't done in a while, which gives them time to actually decompress. Now, it may seem like the family outing is more important, and sometimes it is, but sometimes they may really need that decompression time instead. And lastly, it might just be as simple as somebody wanting to hear please and thank you more often. You can level up your relationship by getting clear on what the other person would most appreciate from you, and then by making an adjustment in the way that you give to them so you can bring more of that meaningful thing into their life. Now, let's just say whatever they want is actually tougher for you to give because it doesn't come naturally to you. If that's the case, I would still challenge you to just give this a try. You love your person and you would do anything for them, right? Well, here's your chance to prove it. If it sounds like their request is too daunting, you should still just try this out. They are also about to do something that might be daunting for them to do for you. The least you can do for each other is just to try it. It's a trade-off here and you both can benefit. If you do try this out, I think that you'll find a few things. A, giving what's meaningful is not as difficult as you thought it was. B, they are happier, so that's awesome. And C, they'll now be more willing to give what's meaningful to you, thus increasing your happiness. Relationships are a give and take, and you both can get more of what enhances your lives by simply asking for it. This is the beauty of communication. Your person loves you, and while it might take a little bit of getting used to for both people, I'm sure that they'd be happy to try this out still, especially if they know how meaningful it'll be for you on the receiving end. It's worth a shot, right? So how do you have this conversation with them? I'll tell you exactly how. You can pitch it just like this. Hey, I love you, and I want to be able to do that the best way I can. So I wonder if there's anything that I could adjust or give in a different way which might be more meaningful to you. You can also try saying something like this. If we were to improve the way that we give to each other, what could I do better that would be really meaningful for you, and would you be open to hearing what would be really meaningful for me? Or you could just simply say, honey, teach me how to love you better. You can also get some clarity here by thinking back to a recent discussion or argument or spicy negotiation, or just deeply considering things that they really seem to care about. Honestly though, I would just straight up ask rather than trying to figure it out by yourself. A great resource to facilitate gaining clarity in your relationship might be taking the love languages quiz to find out which styles you both prefer. There's a link below in the description if you want to do that. You might think you know what your love language is already for both you and your partner, but this may actually provide a new perspective or help make sense of things after you finish the quiz. Now please don't feel like you have to rely on this as your only resource. As a matter of fact, do not rely on that as your only resource. The most meaningful resource is your partner themselves. I'm telling you, you might just want to ask them point blank. Just say, hey, I want to give to you in the most meaningful way that I possibly can. How can I do that for you? That one question has the power to completely revolutionize your relationship, especially when they ask it back. My hope here is that you learn something new about your partner and say, man, I wish I knew that sooner because I would have been doing it this whole time. Well, there's still time and there's always time, and when better to start improving than right now? Now, please don't think I'm some kind of relationship guru or anything like that. I'm not. I'm just here to tell you that the Give What's Meaningful conversation has helped out in my relationship, and maybe it can benefit yours too. That's the only reason I'm here. Try it out for yourself, and hopefully you'll see what I mean. Now I want to hear from you. How can you better love your person by using this idea? Comment down below. Maybe your idea will be inspiring to somebody else. Here's the key takeaway for this video. If you talk to your partner about giving what's meaningful, your relationship can experience a beautiful new era of better communication, well-spent energy, more joy in serving and being served, and a deeper sense of fulfillment and happiness between both of you. Go ask your person, what's most meaningful to you and how can I give it better? How can I love you in the way that's best for you? Who knows? They might say don't change a thing. I'm just saying give this a shot. It could help. Remember, do something that makes the world a better place this week. People need you. You are the Better Echo. Subscribe, like, and get a sticker at the link below, or watch one of these, and I'll see you next time.